Welcome back to the Femcast, where I do reaction videos over here on the Real Fem Sapien YouTube channel, except today we're going to do a deep dive into the Dylan Mulvaney narcissistic pipeline, because now there are two off-brand Dylans, and it's like the cycle keeps repeating. I don't know if you guys have figured it out yet, but Dylan Mulvaney is actually doing very well financially, so he's figured out this whole male to female profitable grift, which is, you know, it is his prerogative to transition. That's on him. But there's lots of young minds that are watching, and they might be thinking to themselves, oh, I should do this. I should get this surgery. I need to embrace the fact that I was born in the wrong body. And we just need to be very practical here. If you want to be queer, that's fine. If you want to cross-dress, that's fine. Queer people have always existed. What is new that we're pretending is normal is the genital mutilation that's involved. We have no evidence that these things occurred in prior history, to where this is something that comes without significant risk, and it does come with significant risk, and some things you can't take back. So we're going to take a look at that pipeline, female to male versus male to female transition rates, certain statistics that show, well, how often do these folks decide to get bottom surgery, and then I'll give you guys my personal testimony about getting a breast reduction when I was too young, and obviously I regret it now because there's things that even your own surgeon won't tell you. And you might be thinking to yourself that this is a bigoted take. It's not bigoted. I just think we need to be making well-rounded decisions. There are people out there that are walking around with chronic back pain because they'd rather have the chronic back pain than go and take the risk of back surgery that exposes your nerves to the outside world with bacteria and gives you complications. So if you like this content, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell. We have a couple of TikToks to check out first, because Dylan Mulvaney has created a pipeline, y'all. It probably wasn't his intent. He was probably just doing his own thing. I take issue with what Dylan Mulvaney does because it's a caricature of what a woman is. Being a woman is a biological and a spiritual experience. And there's things that these folks are just not going to go through no matter how many times they want to make themselves women. And when they put on this caricature, a lot of it doesn't match with being a woman in reality. Like every stereotypical thing that you could come up with that could be considered actually sexist is what these folks do on TikTok. So Dylan was first, and then I've covered on the channel as well Grant Sykes, he's a new one on TikTok, and now we have Jaqueline Jane, and it just gets more and more bigoted. It is what the left would probably call misogynistic if they actually use the lens on themselves, but they won't do that. It just seems like it is woman face. To have people just try to change biology. I am a female now. That's not how sex chromosomes work. Present how you want to present. You know, that's your right. That's your autonomy. But let's just try to stay a little bit rooted in reality if we can here. So we're going to look at Dylan Mulvaney and his progress. He recently got face feminization surgery. Again, when we're deciding to do surgery, we want to make sure that we want to do that. It's kind of like a face tattoo. You want to be committed to it. Let's dive into Dylan Mulvaney and his TikToks that gave him notoriety and fame. He's actually pretty famous now, like invited to the White House famous, like getting brand deals famous, like super duper famous. So the grift is real. I mean, good for Dylan. Capitalism, cool.
Day 66, being a girl, and today I'm in nature. Trees, I love them. Water, lakes, I love them. Heels, they're my hiking heels. I love them. Okay, come on. Bridges, love them. Coconut water, love it. Not an ad, just love it. Wind turbine, love it. Meadows, love them. I'm scared of getting Lyme disease. Love ya. Oh. Did you see that? I gotta get out of here. Did you see that?
There's a dragonfly.
Oh my god. Never again. Get me out of here. Love ya.
So while Dylan is on day 66 of being a girl, not a woman, because that's not weird at all that you want to identify as a girl versus a woman. Okay, why do we want to be children? Nobody has questions? Whatever. I don't know any woman who goes hiking in heels, number one. Number two, this is very sexist propaganda, in my opinion. This is what you think women physically do. We go hiking in heels, we fall on the floor, we scream at dragonflies. Like, yeah, women are afraid of bugs, but it just seemed very dramatic, flamboyant, not true to reality, and insulting, because that is what Dylan thinks being a woman is. Now, I will say, I feel like he's come a long way a little bit in terms of being less ridiculous to this capacity. But we'll take a look at 2 other Dylan Mulvaney videos as well. This next one is what got him under a lot of fire, and rightfully so, because this stuff is patronizing. And anytime I've talked to a leftist about the erasure of women, they've never at least admitted that it was a possibility. They just gloss over it. Why? If you are so pro-woman, you should be able to hear out a woman who believes that her entire sex is being wiped out by the new patriarchy that is this transgender ideology. Does that ever get validated? No. Why? Probably because it's uncomfortable. Probably because these folks would have to realize, you know what? Y'all are more sexist than the dudes that you complain about online who are straight.
Day 75 of being a girl, and I've been carrying around tampons and pads for the past 2 months, but I've actually never opened one up, so let's do it. Woohoo! I thought the letters stood for small, medium, and large based on the size of your Barbie pouch, but after a Google I found out it's actually the level of your flow, so they're super, regular, and light. I guess my question is, which one do I carry around? The super? Because maybe if you have a light flow you can still use a super? I don't know. Here goes nothing. It's pink, it's kind of adorable, and it kind of looks like a butter churn. So you just go like that? Ow. Where does the string go? You are getting sleepy. Now for the real magic, I've got a glass of water in the tampon. I almost put red food coloring in there, but I thought that might be too much. And we're gonna see how this works. Oh, it kind of looks like a butterfly. How long does it take to get to this? This one looks like it would do the job. I feel like I'm in science class. Oh no. Okay, the pad didn't expand, so maybe this is for a light flow? I just don't know. Now that I think about it, I probably should have had a woman come teach me about these things. I was on the boys' side of sex ed, and now I would like to take the girls' class. But if you're on your period right now, I'm sending you love. Bye. Love ya.
Okay, so I'm on day 10,200 and something of being a girl. No, I'm a woman. Actually, I'm a woman. And yeah, so I'm fairly experienced with these things, and I don't think I would have needed any of Dylan's insight at the age of 15. I wouldn't have needed any of this at all. The reason why this is frustrating is because obviously, women don't typically need to be educated on this unless there is a very young girl who is unfamiliar and doesn't have a mom or a father to guide her, in which case, this is still not very good informational content. It's not like he's talking about the risk of toxic shock syndrome or using cups or the fact that when you use some of these products for the first time, you can be sore. Again, annoying, frustrating, patronizing, somehow not actually deemed sexist by the left. But if you have any sort of inkling that you would enjoy gender roles in your relationship or traditional values, that is sexist. This is not sexist. Yeah, okay, bite me. So Dylan got some pushback, and this is the response to that.
Day 271 of being a girl, or I'll say woman for this one, because this video is for the women on Twitter who just really don't like me. Hello, ladies. We got a lot to cover, but let's first talk tampons. I haven't talked about tampons on here lately because I don't use them. I'm a woman who doesn't have a uterus. I know this. And science was my strongest subject in high school. I was also shockingly good at math, but I digress. I just sometimes carry one in case anybody needs it. And that seems to have just set the world on fire in some pretty nasty ways. And this is a conversation that's been going on for months. I just haven't chimed in because I'm so tired of sticking up for myself over something that was so pure intentioned. But now Twitter is just ablaze.
Okay, first of all, Dylan, like, you're not special. Everybody gets yelled at on Twitter. I get yelled at on Twitter. Jordan Peterson gets yelled at to the point where he comments on it on Twitter. Like, PhD psychologist still gets bothered on Twitter. You're not special for getting the heat on Twitter. It is standard. 23% of the US adult population is on Twitter, and for some reason, those folks are really causing a ruckus. The reason, again, why Dylan got pushback is because it's patronizing. And now Dylan is probably on his way to getting sponsorship deals for feminine hygiene products when there's plenty of female content creators who would do well to get those female sponsorships. But this is the erasure of women. You're saying that you're a woman without a uterus. Why not say that you are a man who enjoys presenting as a woman? That would make way more sense than this stuff right here. Yes, Dylan, it's insulting when you call female anatomy a vagina when you would like to call that a Barbie pouch. What even is Barbie? You know, Barbie doesn't even have genitals. If you ever owned one as a child, you would know that she's just got panty patterns melted in. That's it. There's nothing in between her legs. I digress. Back to Grant. We're going to take a look at his rise to pseudo fame. Keep in mind, like, all of this is on TikTok, so young impressionable minds are watching. Minds like Grant Scythe. Grant Scythe is off-brand Dylan #1, who has figured out the formula. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, but at this point, it's getting worse. It's just corny. All right, let's go.
Day 12 of being a girl, and we're gonna go buy tampons. Let's go.
Where are they even at?
What the?
I don't know, which one should I get?
At the Tampax Pearl, I think these are like little dots to see how much you flow, is what somebody said online. I don't know, let's do an unboxing. It literally has instructions. Okay, this is a tampon. This thing does not go up inside you. Like, where does that go? Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so it says you push the plunger up and out comes the baby. Kidding. That just hangs out inside you? How do you get it out? Is that what this thing's for? Oh, it comes open. Oh, do you like, oh, where does the string go? I bought tampons because I've never bought them before. If you need one, love you.
Oh, hell no!
These are grown men. These are men over the age of 18, and a 12 to 13-year-old girl could figure this stuff out. Do you understand how they're talking down to women and doing woman face? Because the left likes to talk about blackface. I very much consider this stuff to be woman face. He's copied Dylan Mulvaney and this tampon curiosity. You would think these folks would just go on YouTube and like look up tampon videos, but okay.
Day 62 of being a girl, and y'all, we gotta catch up, okay? A lot be happening, as always, slay. Let's go get Starbucks together because that is what type of girl I am. I am a Starbucks, Hydro Flask, you name it. That's me.
So I guess what being a woman is talking like a black woman or talking like a gay man and then wearing lip gloss and getting Starbucks. That's what being a woman is. Okay.
Period. Let's go. Bag secured, period. I got a caramel iced macchiato. Duh. Okay, so these past few weeks have been really stressful and just mentally...
And I'm good. All right, so Grant goes on to say that he's gotten some pushback for his tampon videos, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Moving on to off-brand Dylan #2. So we got three grifters up in here. Jaqueline Jane is the latest.
People are really out here saying that trans Chuchi is the inferior product. I'm sorry. We have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie. Like, you're telling me if someone says, would you like this free paper bag that came with my groceries, or would you like this $35,000 bag? You're taking the designer Birkin, babe. Like, seriously, you're just mad because trans girls don't want to put trash like you in our designer bags.
Okay, so this gentleman just called vaginas paper bags, which that's not weird whatsoever, and then conveniently neglects the fact that there are trans women who literally need to use colon tissue because they don't have enough penis skin to graft to create the vagina. Right, just conveniently glosses over this to where there are some articles online that are encouraging women to smell their feces so that they can understand and empathize with trans women who have had to use colon tissue.
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
And somehow we're not supposed to be offended at all. But don't worry, because you might be thinking, oh, this is an innocent person with no agenda on TikTok doing this. Wrong. This was an attempt to clout chase. Check this out.
Guys, it's finally happened. I finally had one of my TikToks shared into like a bunch of trans hate groups online. And basically what's happened is before I had surgery, I'd get a lot of comments from these gender critical feminists or these, TERFs saying, you will never be a woman because you don't have a choochie. Way to reduce women to their choochies, but anyway, and then I had surgery, and so the comments changed from you will never be a woman because you don't have a choochie to your choochie is fake. It's an open wound. It smells like poo, which I really don't know where they got that idea from, but anyway, so I saw those comments and I thought, what would be funny? You know what these people would really, really hate? If I say that not only my choochie is just as good as theirs, I say it's actually superior. And then it's the designer product. I said it's the bougie, designer, expensive choochie, and anyone in their right minds would go for the designer product, right? I put in the caption that it was a joke. I said in the comments, like, just to be clear, all choochies are superior. It was just a joke in response to these like really, really ill-informed and poor attempts at an argument. And it worked. It absolutely struck a chord with with these people. And over the past 48 hours, I have been inundated with literally hundreds of troll accounts and hate accounts. And I've just been blocking them. And I'm really glad they came for me because my views have absolutely skyrocketed. I've been launched into For You pages. Even people I work with have been like, I saw you on TikTok yesterday. So, thanks guys. I really appreciate that.
Exactly. It is the Dylan Mulvaney male to female grift pipeline that has been developed. We will see more and more of these folks that will do the exact same thing, say the most sexist and, according to the left standards, misogynistic takes. I don't think it's misogyny. It's much ado about nothing. Obviously, delusional individuals, whatever. But this is exactly what they want. They're narcissistic. They want the attention. They want the views. And Dylan did it. And he got to 10 million followers on TikTok and brand deals and podcasts and so many other things. Like, literally funded his transition by documenting being a girl tripping in heels in the woods. Sure.
And if anyone else is trying to get, their views up and they're having issues with TikTok trying to get them to promote their videos, which is what was happening to me, just beta turf. You might have to block a few people, but you know what? Kind of worth it.
Yeah, so basically, if you are a woman who identifies as a woman and is not with this transgender ideology, you're considered a TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist. I'm not even a feminist. I just think this is getting out of hand and ridiculous. But like I said before, young minds are watching. And so young individuals are going to see this and they're going to think, geez, maybe I was born in the wrong body. So we have a couple of things to look at when it comes to the transgender community. Like I said, most of these folks are just tax-paying individuals, contributing members to society. That's all well and good. That's great. But we do have an obligation as adults to mentor our youth. If you want to transition as an adult, by all means, you do you, boo-boo. I don't recommend it. Fine, that's your right. Moving on, we're going to look at this sample size from a Swedish study. This is all going to be linked in the description down below that shows that the transgender individuals who had received a diagnosis of gender incongruence were 6 times more likely to have a mood or anxiety disorder than the general population, 3 times as likely to be prescribed antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, more than 6 times as likely to attempt self-deletion, resulting in hospitalization. So it's my opinion that instead of getting the mental health these folks probably actually need, and understanding that gender dysphoria can, majority of the time, go away if you become an adult, just to have some patience, make these decisions as an adult. Instead of giving them the treatment that they need, they're just being sold this lie. And who profits off of this lie? Physicians, drug companies. You have a customer for life if you have somebody who's dependent on hormones for the rest of their their life. And I believe that we're literally sending sheep to slaughter. And you can't take some of these things back when it comes to pursuing the transition. Now, I will say further statistics do show that chest surgery is more common than bottom surgery. That part is true. In general, the genital surgery is 4 to 13% likely for the population. That's the estimated prevalence among this population. Again, linked in the description down below. So most people aren't getting surgery. However, top surgery is more common, and then bottom surgery is less common. When we look at these surgeries, we do have to look at complications. Like I said, there are some things that it's wiser to live with than to go and alter. I myself, I have a couple of things that are wrong with me, supposedly. So I've got bilateral labral tears in my hips, but like a lot of people get that naturally through aging. Does that mean that I need to put myself on a table and open up my hips in that joint to the complications that can arise? No, it's one of those things where you kind of wait until you actually need hip surgery to get hip surgery. I will say I did get a breast reduction, and that was because I felt really insecure. I was young and I was in the military, and in the military I was gaining weight, losing weight just from the random training cycles that was going on. And so I figured, well, the military kind of ruined them a little bit, so Uncle Sam can pay to get them fixed. Uncle Sam did pay to get them fixed. However, I did not have it brought up to me by my surgeon at all, and I was in my early 20s when I did this. I didn't have them bring it up to me at all. The fact that it could impair my ability to breastfeed. I'm very fortunate that I had a girlfriend who already lived into that experience and was able to give me feedback. And it doesn't mean that I can't breastfeed completely. I could do it partially, maybe. It depends. It's a wait and see moment. I have to literally wait until I give birth to tell if I can breastfeed my child, because I was young, I was dumb, my surgeon didn't inform me, I wasn't forward projecting and forward thinking. And so if that can happen to me, a straight woman who wants to have children one day, it can certainly happen to these other folks out there who haven't even really thought about accepting the fact that they're born in the body that they're born with, and they might want to have children later. They might want to feed them later. I can't undo breast reduction surgery. There's nothing I can do to rewind the hands of time. This is a reality. And there are some complications for folks when it even comes to that. The bottom surgery comes with a lot of complications. That's an area that's prone to bacteria. I mean, it's natural for women, us as women, we have bacteria that, live there, right? So you open yourself up to complications when you decide to do that. So we're going to take a look at the male to female versus the female to male rates. Worldwide estimates for trans women are 1 in every 30,000 people. Trans men are estimated at 1 in every 100,000. However, these numbers are likely an underestimate because they only account for trans people diagnosed with gender identity disorder and or people receiving services at gender clinics, which we know are not conclusive of all trans people. The fact remains that the male to female transition rate is still higher than the female to male transition rate, meaning that there might be something going on in the Western male psyche that is leading men to choose this over women choosing this. And what does that mean? Is this like a hidden patriarchy? Can we theorize that? People don't want to acknowledge that stuff. They won't even entertain the conversation. Aside from that, we're going to look at 2 videos that document complications from bottom surgery. Did I choose these on purpose? Yes. Of course, there are plenty of folks out there that are content with their bottom surgery, supposedly, right? I chose this because you cannot undo surgery. You can't. And people need to know the possibilities of complications. There's lots of other things that we do that are considered procedures, like getting an IUD. That's considered a procedure, right? Did you know that IUDs have a possibility of perforating your uterus? It's just good to know these things, guys. So we're going to take a look at the female to male bottom complications.
Originally, when you have surgery, I mean basically lower surgery, usually surgery in general, depending on what it is, every time I've had surgery, I've been on a catheter for at least a day, maybe 2 days, and then it gets taken out. But with my phalloplasty journey, I had a bag, and that stayed on for about 3 days, and then it got switched to a flip valve on the 4th day when I transferred from the hospital to the recovery center. Well, I've been having issues with my catheter, and it wasn't draining completely with the flip valve, and it happened 3 times where it wasn't coming out of the valve. It was actually coming out from under where the urethra, and the catheter was inserted. So basically what's going to happen now is that I'm going back to a bag, which is, kind of inconvenience, but also, annoying. I was hoping to get over the complications with that, and it was seeming to be going really well for a day and a half because they ended up giving me spasm medication, which we thought worked, but no, it did not. This morning around, I guess, midnight / close to 12:30 in the morning, it happened again. So yeah, we just did a check on my bladder. So they do a bladder scan after I went to the bathroom with a flip valve, and there was still over 140 units in my bladder, where she's like, if it's 100, under 100, or 100, then I would be okay with that, but it's over that, and that's quite a lot for being only in the morning. So we are switching back to that bag, like I mentioned, and it's just something I never really heard or experienced from other people. So the hopeful thing, I guess, is that I'm going to take this home with me, and they did also give me some flip valve attachments. I'm going to try and go back to the flip valve, say, in a couple extra days. Hopefully that my body just needs an extra adjustment. Otherwise, I may have to stay on it, which also then, though, could give me complications in the end of it, because with the flip valve, it's giving your bladder that same feeling like I'm full, whereas with a bag, it's just draining completely, so it doesn't have that same muscle. So it could cause complications down the road, but I'll see what happens. I wanted to keep you up to date, but I want to just give you this little update here. It's just irritating for me, but anyways, I'll get through it, and I'm staying in good spirits. But thanks y'all for watching, and bye for now.
Right, and it's like, I don't wish these people ill. Not at all, by any means. I just would like for other folks to know what they're walking into when they decide to make permanent decisions. Anything that you do medical has side effects. I mean, even taking a medication, like, did you know that Tylenol isn't non-toxic? It actually takes a small toll on your liver. Most of us can deal with a small toll, but that part is true. So life's about trade-offs and choices. To include medical procedures and medications, we're going to look at this next male to female bottom complication commentary.
So I just got diagnosed with vaginal stenosis. If you're confused, hi, I'm Zaya. I'm transgender, and 8 months ago I got bottom surgery, or gender confirmation surgery. So I had a PP and now I have a vagina. And let me just preface this by saying I do not regret getting surgery. I do not regret it. So I don't want any of y'all conservative ass bitches to twist my words. I do not fucking regret surgery. However, I knew recovery was gonna be hard, but nobody tells you that it could be this fucking hard. But yeah, I was diagnosed with vaginal stenosis, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically when scar tissue gets built up inside of the vaginal canal to the point where it's extremely tight and uncomfortable. And the thing is, for the first year after getting bottom surgery, you have to dilate your vagina religiously, because it's a brand new canal that needs to be kept open religiously for the first year. And now that I have this stenosis, I physically cannot dilate. My vagina still has depth, but it's so tight to the point that it could start to close and form pockets that could lead to infection, which means that I have to get another surgery. I basically just have to get the surgery all over again and get my vagina replaced. And it's just so fucking annoying. And it just sucks because my vagina has made me so happy, happier than I've ever been. I finally feel comfortable in my body. It's so pretty on the outside. It's just the inside of it that's all fucked up. And now I have to get an emergency revision surgery. I'm still waiting on the date. Hopefully it's soon. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and be open and honest, because I hope this shows you guys that being transgender, I would never choose this lifestyle. I did not choose to struggle like this. All of the struggles that I've been through and am still going through are just to feel comfortable with my fucking self, to feel comfortable in my fucking body. And it's so hard. It's so fucking hard. But I would do this shit all over again if I had to. I would do it all over again. But yeah, bottom surgery is not for the weak, babe. It's not for the weak. But at the end of the day, I know that I can get through it. I know it's all going to be worth it in the end. No matter how much pain I have to go through, it'll all be worth it just to be comfortable with myself. Yeah, I'll keep y'all updated. Hopefully I get scheduled for my surgery soon. But yeah, thanks Thanks for watching.
Alrighty, that is about all I have for you guys in this deep dive. It just seemed like it was really important to give people practical advice or information about surgery and how to approach surgery. I have worked in the medical sector. I know a lot of medical professionals. I socialize with them regularly. It's something that's in my family, something that I grew up in, something that I've worked in. A lot of these medical professionals would wait to the last possible second to get surgery because they understand that each surgery can come with complications. It's better to live with something and making sure that it doesn't impact your quality of life too hard, and then theorizing later on when it does start to impact your quality of life significantly to then go ahead and get surgery. Lots of people have surgery regrets. This is not just the trans community that has surgery regrets. Like your average person who had a crick in their neck, they went and got surgery and they don't like it anymore. These things do happen. So if you're going to get surgery for literally anything, you might want to be committed to it the same way you would be committed to a face tattoo. You literally cannot live without the surgery, therefore you want to go ahead and proceed. Because I do think that a lot of these folks who are trans, who have mental illnesses, are being sold this lie that this is going to fix their mental health issues, and for some it does. Sure, that's amazing. I mean, that would at least be my hope, is that it does relieve these folks' pain, but I don't think that that's the standard case, and more detransitioners are coming out. They're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're doing interviews to come out and say, I was lied to, I was young, I was confused, I wasn't informed. We have a really crappy understanding of informed consent in the West, and I am hoping that this video is helpful so that you can be more informed before you go under the knife. Yeah, I've done it myself. Had a breast reduction, wasn't completely informed. Would I have done it had I been informed of the possibility of not being able to breastfeed? No, I wouldn't have. I would have waited. I would have learned to love my crooked tatas, okay? That wasn't what I did though. I fell into the Western narrative of if it's broke, then I need to fix it. That's not always true, especially when it comes to your body. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and make sure you like the video on your way out, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell. Let me know if you would like more deep dives. I will see you guys later. Bye.